Are Advantage plans denying Americans the care that they need? The New York Times seems to think so. Congress is debating it now, and more importantly, it could be the question that you are asking yourself as you consider life on Medicare. I did a deep dive into the 3 studies that many are citing as proof around Advantage plan denials to try and figure out what are the odds that you will be denied while on an Advantage plan. And I have to admit, I was genuinely surprised as I dug into these studies. Let's start with the 2022 study done by the Office of Inspector General, or OIG, which was picked up by the New York Times. The study's aim was to look at Advantage plan prior authorization denials and figure out how prevalent incorrect denials were. So of all of the denials that happen, how many of them should have been approved but were not? Now, the OIG study came to the conclusion that 13% of Medicare Advantage prior authorization denials should have been approved. It's an important number, and unfortunately, here's why I think it's completely unusable. This study initially took 283,000 prior authorizations, which is a very strong sample size, from 15 insurance companies. I'd prefer more, but we'll keep looking. From 1 week, which is not an ideal span of time, from the year 2019. Okay, I've got some issues. 1 week of claims from 4 years ago from 15 companies is not a good sign for looking at today's landscape. But let's keep going. After starting with 283,000 prior authorizations, they selected a sample size of 500 total claims, half for prior authorization denials, half for payment denials to physicians. From there, they ended up analyzing 247 prior authorization denial claims. Can we make a blanket statement for all plans across the country based on 247 claims from 15 insurance companies in 1 week in July 4 years ago? The other side of that number, if we take the conclusions at face value, that means that 87% of prior authorization requests should have been denied because the request did not meet approval criteria. These were independent reviewers hired for this study, meaning human beings, not computers, who went through these claims and made these determinations. And when I say that we shouldn't take these values with a grain of salt, I don't mean it's because they are too high. They might be too low. The point is, I don't find them statistically relevant, but we're going to use them because we need a number like this to figure out how likely you are to get denied on an Advantage plan. But we're going to use a better study to help. Okay, study number 2. This one was done by the Kaiser Family Foundation, and it took all prior authorizations approved and denied, which was 35 million in 2021. It's still a couple of years old, but it's closer and the closest we have of this magnitude. Then it shows the total number of prior authorizations that were denied, period. Not whether they should have or shouldn't have been denied, just the total number of prior authorizations, and this number is the one that surprised me. It's 6%. 6% of all prior authorizations were denied. Now that is 2 million total requests, which is a big number, but it is only 6%. So for those of you who are worried about an Advantage plan because of the terrifying language around them denying anything you will ever need, 94% of prior authorization service requests were approved. Now let's apply that other not so great study's conclusions to that number, because remember, the study said 13% of denied claims should have been approved, so we need to apply the 13% should have been approved number to the 6% total denial rate number. As a percentage of the total prior authorizations, it is 0.7%. This means that of all prior authorization requests in 2021, 94% were approved, 6% were not approved, 0.7 were denied but should have been approved, meaning the prior authorization process was 99.3% accurate. Looking at the 6% that were denied, of those claims that were appealed, 82% were overturned, either completely approved or partially approved. These numbers are what shocked me, and you can dive into the study yourself. I have a link in the description. Not all companies deny prior authorizations at the same rate. Let's look at the third study. This one looked at inpatient hospital claims in 2022. The Advantage denial rate was 5.8%, so very close to that 6% number. For all other payers, meaning any other insurance option other than Advantage plans, all other payer denial rate was 3.7%. So it's not that denials never happen with every other type of plan and only happen with Advantage plans. However, in this study, Advantage plans denied at about a 2% higher rate than all other payers. Now, there are 3 pieces of data that I wish that we had but are not available. First, are there certain services that are more likely to be denied in this look at all prior authorization requests? Time and skilled nursing facilities comes to mind, but there are others. Second, are there certain Advantage plan types more likely to deny, meaning an HMO versus a PPO versus others? Again, not looking for anecdotal evidence, looking for actual numbers from a large enough sample size. And the third piece of data that I wish that we had is what is the length of time between when a prior authorization is submitted and when it is approved or denied. Because if you go in for an important surgery or service and it takes days or weeks to get approval, well, you may have needed that surgery immediately, not 3 days or 3 weeks from now. So I wasn't able to find this data across all plans. Now, this is so important. I am not saying that Advantage plans are the answer. Again, I don't care which one you choose, Advantage, Supplement, or neither. My goal here is not to persuade you one way or another, it's to give you how they both work, real numbers around how they work, and then you can make the decision that suits you. I do care about entities portraying Advantage plans as something they are not. They are not the same as Original Medicare or Original Medicare with a supplement plan. They are managed care. You'll see the headlines and the shocking videos from people on YouTube bashing these plans and making you feel bad. Advantage plans are an easy target. Most of the videos we see on here bashing Advantage plans are from people who still put people on Advantage plans, but a video saying what we said in this video, or frankly a video saying, you know what, supplement plans are great, don't get as many clicks and views because they aren't as infuriating. We know because we have a bunch of these videos on our channel. Please go watch them. I know that I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, saying that I am pushing Advantage plans. If you go watch the almost 200 videos on our channel and our website, you'll find that we do not push Advantage plans, like at all. We have an Advantage versus Supplement quiz on our website. In all of the years that this quiz has been live, 67.3% of all respondents have had supplement recommended based on their answers. Of the last 100 who have taken the quiz, 67.7% of respondents have had supplement recommended. Far higher percentages than the less than 50% of beneficiaries who actually choose supplement plans nationwide. And if we pushed Advantage plans, wouldn't we rig that quiz to show Advantage more often? I went down this rabbit hole because I wanted to see how nervous somebody currently on an Advantage plan or somebody considering one should be around services being denied. And based on these studies, the odds of denial in general are 6%. The odds of denial when it should be approved are 0.7%. All right, I'll brace myself for the hate comments. Here is my golden retriever, Ruby, and my corgi, Jet. I figure you can be mad at me all you want, but you can't possibly be mad at these two. If you mention one of them in the comments, I'll know that you at least made it this far into the end of the video before yelling at me. If you love supplements, please go watch this video over here, and you may reconsider how you feel about me. We'll see you over there.